Ho, ho, ho! Happy Art Day and happy holidays! Welcome to Freakin' Art. I'm Anastasia and I'm so happy you decided to join me today and make some art. Many of you know that this week is Christmas. It's a holiday that's celebrated all around the world. So for today's class, we're going to be making a really fun Santa mask. That's right. So when you're giving out your gifts, even if that's just some hugs and kisses, you could be wearing your very own Santa mask. You know, I think it would also be fun for taking family photos. So for today's class, we're going to need a paper plate, a pair of scissors, some glue. I think if you have the Elmer's glue, it's easier than that glue stick. Some cotton balls, a pen or pencil. I'm going to be using some red paper and some pink paper. And then you might want a small circle to trace and maybe some tape, just in case we're impatient waiting for that glue to dry. So before we start, let's do a little bit of breathing exercise and a quick stretch so we can be super focused and ready to make some art. Are you ready? Okay, everybody, breathe in and breathe out. That felt good. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's roll our shoulders back. And can we roll them forward? And interlace our fingers and stretch out our hands in our arms. Woo! Well, I feel focused and I'm ready to go. I hope you are too. So we're going to start with our paper plate. It doesn't matter what size it is. As you can see, mine's probably a little bit too big for my face, but it's what I had. We're going to take our paper plate and we're going to cut half of it off. So to find the halfway mark, we'll just take it and fold it in half. And this actually makes it easy to cut it too. So just go somewhere right in the middle there. And then you cut a line. And then we'll just cut out the rest of half of the plate. Now you could choose to go all the way up to the rim here. I mean, all paper plates are a little bit different, so it's up to you. And if this part's really frustrating, because sometimes it's really frustrating to just cut out half of a circle, maybe see if there's an adult around that can help you. And we don't need it to be a perfectly smooth circle, so don't worry about that when you're cutting it out, because we're going to be covering it with some cotton balls. So we're going to be hiding those edges anyway. Okay, I've got my half a plate. Now a lot of the plates, paper plates have like an indent, and I think it's easier to do our mask on the outside so there's a little bit of room for your face. Okay, so I have my half a paper plate. Let's see what we're going to need next. Let's do our triangle. So I have a really fancy piece of red paper. If you don't have red paper around, you could just use regular paper and color it. That would look really nice too. So first I'm going to see about how wide I want my hat to be. That looks about right. And I'm going to go ahead and make a triangle. So I'm just folding this in half so I know where my middle point is. And I'm going to cut a diagonal line from one corner to that middle point up here. And then I'll have a perfectly symmetrical triangle. You could also draw it out on the back first if you want. But I'm going to trust myself that this will be a pretty good looking triangle and just go for the cut. Okay, so I'm going from one corner right up to that point. Okay. There we go. I have my triangle. Has a little bit of a flare going on at the end, but that's okay. It adds character to my hat. So I've got my base for my face and the base for my hat. I'm going to use one of the pieces of leftover red to draw a circle for my nose. I'm going to draw on the back because I have this black marker and I don't want it to show up on the front. So I'm going to draw on the back of my fancy red papers here. Whoa! That wasn't so smooth, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to take my little circle. You could use a quarter. Really, whatever you have around. You can also free style your circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I got the circle on the back, and now I'm going to cut out my nose. It's a little wibbly wobbly, but that's okay. I got my nose circle. My Santa has 2 rosy cheeks, so I'm going to cut out 2 pink circles. And again, if you don't have pink paper around, just use some white paper and draw on it, or paint on it. So I have my pink paper. Again, I'm going to flip it over and draw a circle on the back so I don't have to worry about that black mark showing up on the front side with that pretty pink. So this time I'm drawing 2 circles because I have 2 cheeks and they're both really rosy from being out in the cold and delivering all those presents. Let's cut out our circles. And again, don't stress if your line isn't perfectly smooth. We're going to be covering most of the mask with cotton balls. So the edges of the shapes aren't going to be super important. It's just as important as you want it to be. So I've got my rosy cheek circles. Let's take our cotton balls and see what kind of different textures we can get besides just a little ball. So if we tear it, look at that. It's really nice and fuzzy, which is good for this beardy part. And then you could also cut them in half. Woo! And make smaller circles. So why don't you play around with that? We'll tear some up. Oh, and I hope you asked the adult in your house before you took all their cotton balls. They're not very expensive, so I don't think it should be that big of a deal. Another thing to use if you didn't have cotton balls could be tissue paper. You could also use some toilet paper. But I like the cotton balls because they're really nice and fuzzy. I guess if you had some extra stuffing from like a pillow or something, you could use that. Okay, so I got a couple. Let me cut a couple more of these cotton balls in half because my cotton balls look more like tubes than circles, and I want to do the rim of my hat and the top of my hat with a circle, and I can use that tube shape along the edge. Different kind of cotton ball textures going on here and shapes going on here. Now we can start with our mask. The first thing we're going to start with is the nose. Now you might want to have your tape handy in case it takes a while for that glue to dry and you need to reinforce it on the back of some tape. So I'm going to take my nose, I'm going to put it somewhere in the middle and have it hanging off a little bit. So only half of it is going to get glued down to the plate. So take this and put glue on half. Oh no, might have to stick something in here. That's why you should close your glue containers after you use them. Let's try this again. Okay. I'm putting glue on half of my circle here. And put it somewhere in the middle here. That's close enough. And I have it hanging off a little bit. Okay, next, I'm going to take my pink little cheek circles and I'm going to put glue on the whole back. Or you could just go around the edge. You don't really need to cover the whole thing. Here's one, and I kind of want it a little bit lower. Do I want it that low? Now another thing you could do is if you have different colored pom-poms, like maybe you have a big craft section at your house. I think I'm changing my mind and I'm moving my cheeks up. You could decide if you want your cheeks to be high or low. I'm moving mine up. So my Santa Claus looks a little bit more like he's smiling. Anyway, if you don't have pink or red paper to make the nose and the cheeks with, you could also use pom-poms. Like in this one, woo! I just dipped a little bit of the cotton ball in some red paint. The only problem with that is it took a while to dry, so it was kind of messy. So you might, if you're gonna do that, you might want to do that last. That is the red paint for the nose. Okay, so I got both my cheeks and my nose in here. It's looking pretty good so far. Now we're gonna put on our hat. This might be a little bit harder because some of the paper plates, like this one, has an edge. So it's not perfectly flat, but I'm gonna squish it out a little bit and I'm gonna reinforce. So I'm gonna back up my my glue job with a little bit of tape. So you just kind of want to decide where you want your hat to sit. And then I'm gonna put glue all along the rim right there. And it's okay if it goes a little bit further down because the next thing we're gonna do is put on the cotton balls. So don't worry if you put glue too far down from where your hat's going. Okay. So I got my triangle shape here. That looks about right, and I'm just pressing it down. Woo. Now, I am definitely going to have to use tape because it is not sticking. Ah! I'm assuming you're just doing this flat on your table so you're not having the same problems I am right now. Don't worry, we'll get through it together. So I'm taking some tape and I'm going to just go ahead and tape that hat on because it is not staying up right now. And I want to be able to show you how easy it is. It's really easy to make this Santa mask. Sometimes we just have to make adjustments as we go. So I'm going to put some tape pieces here. I have the glue, so eventually I'll be able to take off the tape. But it's on the back of the mask anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. I'll put some pieces right there. I hope you're not getting frustrated. Remember, if it feels a little bit stressful, we're just going to take a deep breath. Whew. Oh, I can do anything now. Okay. We got our cheeks and we got our hat and we got our nose. That's a good start. Next, we're going to put a bunch of cotton balls around here. So let's just go ahead and put some glue all in this rim here. Now you can do your cotton balls however you want. Like I said, mine are kind of tube shaped, so I'm just going to put them going down. Maybe they kind of look like curls. But I'm not worried too much about it. Your mask should look like your mask. So feel free to do this however you want. I mean, you don't even need your Santa Claus to have a white beard. You could dip it all in different colored paint and you could have a multicolored beard. That would be totally awesome. Maybe Santa got tired of having white hair and wanted to have bright pink hair. Who knows? It's your artwork and it should look like your artwork. So again, I just put some glue right in that little rim of the plate. And I'm just taking my cotton balls and sticking them on that rim. I can't wait to see your guys' masks. I think it'll be really funny to take family photos with them. Or if you can't spend Christmas with family and friends, it'd be really fun to take pictures and send them to the people you love. Okay, I got a nice row. My bottom beard in. Now my plate's kind of deep. I don't know if you can really tell, but there's quite an edge right here. So I'm going to put some glue right along this edge in between the flat spot and the rim and put another row of cotton balls there. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on top of these cotton balls. That's the first layer. Now again, you don't have to do this. You're just trying to cover the whole thing. I just thought it looked fun to have two little layers of the cotton balls right here. But it's artist's choice. So do what makes you happy, what you think looks the most beautiful, wonderful for your beard. Now it might be nice to have some paper towels around because we're working with glue and cotton balls, and I mean, your fingers are definitely going to get a little bit sticky unless you're super careful. So far it's looking pretty good right here. Fingers crossed. We're only halfway done, so anything could happen, huh? Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more glue right here. There we go. Okay. I'll put one right here too. I mean, you could never have enough beard unless you run out of cotton balls. Hold on. So now I'm going to fill in this flat spot of the plate. And I'm going to do that with the torn up cotton balls because I think it has a very nice texture. I don't know if you can tell the difference here, but we got these tight curls right here along our chin line. And then we got the really fuzzy, wild beard here on the front of the face. So an easy thing to do is just put glue all over the flat part of your plate all at once and then stick the cotton balls on there. You could just take the solid ones and stick them on there too if that's the look you like. But I'm going for some different textures and I'm sticking on the torn up cotton balls. So I'm going to just try to go around my circles so you can see that nice pop of color amid all the white. Now this is the part where my fingers are probably going to get really messy and full of cotton and glue, but that's okay. That's part of the fun of making art, is making a mess. At least I think it is. Now I'm going to put a little bit of cotton right in between the nose and those cheeks, those rosy cheeks. So I'm just tearing this up so I have a smaller piece to put down there. Now you can take a look and see if you need any more cotton balls. I think I want to have a little bit more come up here, just to hide the plate. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. let's go ahead and do our hat. I'm gonna do a little line of cotton balls right here and one little pom-pom at the top. You don't have to use cotton balls. You could use whatever fun things you have around the house to decorate the hat with. But I was just going with the simple few materials that we have in our mixed media wearable art mask here. Okay, I don't know what happened there. My camera stopped working. So, you can just do little dots for whatever decorations you're putting on here. I'm just doing a line across because it's easier. And I'm going to take those little cotton balls that I cut in half because they're a nice little squat round shape, and I'm going to put them along this edge. But again, you could do whatever you want. If you got some cool glitter or rhinestones or fun pictures you cut out, whatever you want to decorate your hat with, go for it. There's no right or wrong. It's just what makes you happy. This is just a good base for you to make your own holiday fun mask. But really, your imagination is the limit. So do what you want to do. I got my nice line across the bottom of my hat, and I'm going to do one pom-pom on the top, so just a little bit of glue. And back. Now, the only thing I need to do is put on my popsicle stick. I'm going to do this with glue and tape because otherwise it's going to not be solid for a while. You could do it with just tape. You could also, if you don't have a popsicle stick, you could put some ribbon or shoestring on the side and tie it around your head that way. So I'm going to go ahead and very carefully lay this down, and I'm going to put some glue just somewhere in the middle, like where you'd want to hold it. And put my popsicle stick down. Voila. Okay, definitely need the tape. So we'll take a piece of tape. And reinforce my glue right here. The back of the mask, so I'm not super worried about it. But also once the glue dries, I'll be able to take the tape off. Oh, good. Oh. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Now I'd love to see, I'm going to put this down because it's still drying. Use this one. I would love to see your Santa Claus masks. So please take pictures and tag me on Instagram or send me an email or some snail mail so I can see you guys with your festive masks on. If you liked today's class, please like and subscribe and share. It really helps me continue creating these fun art classes for you guys here on YouTube. Well, happy holidays, and I'll see you guys next week.